What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk about the game mode Infected in the community playlist. If you haven't played it, it's sort of like zombies but with your teammates. So the whole point of the game is you're trying to survive and not get infected, but if you do get infected, you gotta go and infect all the survivors. So basically what I wanted to talk about is some of the changes that I think should be made to this game mode, because to me the purpose of the game is to try to survive, but as it is right now, it seems a lot more advantageous to be the infected. A lot of people I know just become infected because they want to run around with a knife in class and a throwing knife and all that good stuff. But I think it should be the other way around. There should be more incentive to be a survivor, because the point of the game is to survive, not to become herpes-ridden infected. Nobody wants to get an STD, nobody wants herpes, so that shouldn't be the goal of this game mode. So I'm just going to run down a couple things that I think would make it a little bit more advantageous to play as a survivor in the game mode. So first I want to point out that the infected run way too fast and they lunge way too far. Because if you're a survivor and you have a whole horde of infected people running towards you, there's points where you can't shoot them fast enough. They just lunge straight through your bullets. A lot of the time the infected are able to outrun you because they run twice as fast as you do. It's almost impossible to run away. You have to post up in a corner and try to defend yourself with just your bullets, because you can't really run away from the infected, which I think is unbalanced. So, to remedy this, I feel it should be the running speed is as fast as it is now for the first infected person. And as more people become infected, their running speed slows down until eventually they run just as fast as the survivors. So at the end, when there's a couple of survivors left, they should run just as fast as the infected, if not faster, because when you have a horde of 17 or so people running after you and they know exactly where you are, you need to be able to either run away or shoot all of them, and shooting them doesn't always work if they're faster than the bullets and they're able to lunge through your shots, which they do a lot of the time. So you need to be able to run away, and if you're running away from an infected, they shouldn't be able to just catch right up to you. You know, if anything, it would make it a little bit more strategic for the infected, because if they're running slow or slower than the survivors, then they need to be able to collaborate, you know, cut them off at a cross point or something like that, and work together to try to get the last couple of people. Now, with that being said, I doubt that they're going to change the running speed anytime soon, so there should be more places for you to also hide yourself. And I don't mean like hiding yourself in a weird glitch in a wall or something like that. I just mean, you know, more camouflage spots in bushes, or being able to climb on top of certain things, because they do have the throwing knife, so it's not impossible to get those people down anymore if they're up on top of something. And if you look around the maps, there's so much crap everywhere, but you can't do anything with it. There's all kinds of trucks and blocks and buildings that most of the time you can't get on top of them. They're just completely there for looks. And why not just utilize all these elements that they put into the maps and make it places where you can go and hide yourself? And if you've ever played Infected and tried to hide in a bush, you'll know that it's like walking into a brick wall, because they're not real in that sense. You can't interact with the environment to your advantage. So if there could be some more crawl spaces or hiding spots that aren't the cheap, glitchy kind, but like real hiding spots that were built into the game, it would be more interesting, more advantageous for the survivors, and I have no doubt that the infected would still find all of these people in these hiding spots eventually. So it would just add to the dynamics of the game. Another thing that I feel should be completely taken out of Infected is the radar that's given at the end of the game to the infected when there's a final survivor. Because what happens is, you survive to the very end, and all of a sudden, a horde of 17 or so infected people come rushing towards you because they know exactly where you are. Those hiding spots don't mean anything if you're completely called out by something cheap like a radar. I think it should be the other way around. If anything, the survivor at the end should get the radar. That way, they can know where the infected are, they have a chance at running away. You already know how I feel about running, but there needs to be more of a reward for being a final survivor. You shouldn't be punished for surviving to the very end. If you're the final survivor, you should get your own radar so that way you can have the advantage of trying to get away from the last horde of people. Now, there's one more thing that I think they should change, and that's the time limit. If it was shorter by just 1 minute, then that would make a huge difference for the survivors, because how it plays out right now is a majority of the people get infected very quickly, and it's still 2.5 minutes or so until the end of the game, and there's a couple people left who have to try to survive for those 2 minutes. And 2 minutes is a very long time when you're trying to either hide or run away from a huge group of very fast herpes-ridden infected people. So it would be a lot better if the game was just a little bit shorter, because I have went a lot of rounds where I'm the last person alive, I'm hiding, I'm almost about to win, but those last 2 minutes are what get me killed, because that is such a long time for the infected to come run around and find you, and they have a really high chance that they will find you and kill you. So it would be a lot more advantageous for the survivors to have a little bit less time on the clock and not have to sit there for so long trying to survive. So, next time you go play Infected, please keep these ideas in mind and let me know what you think. Do you think these are good ideas? Would they work? And if you have any ideas of your own for helping change the Infected game mode, then let me know in the comments. So until next time, guys, this is StrangeLuv signing out. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna leave you with this one last clip of Infected where I actually won, and guess where it was? Hiding spot on mission. It actually works. Anyway, take it easy, guys.